Okay, so that takes care of the intro for it. Now, let's move on to the verses here. So what we have, again, we're playing like a G power chord, but again, we're not playing it in the most conventional way that you would play a power chord like this. It's more of an open chord. So my middle finger is on the G note of the low E string, and I've got my ring finger, my third finger, also on the third fret of the B string. Don't worry about placing your first finger down there. It doesn't have to be there because basically they don't play it that way. And also, your middle finger is muting out that A string. So the chord has a little bit more meat to it. It's a little bit more meaty that way. Okay? So you begin the verses with just that one strum of the G chord, of the G5 chord. And then I'm just taking my palm, the heel of my palm there, and I'm just muting it to cut it short. Then what you do with the next chord, you basically just move your middle finger to the third fret of the A string. And what that gives you there is like a C9 chord. And I'm just playing that twice. Then I move it back to the G5 again. Back to the C9 again. One more time to the G5. And then a push to the D chord. So altogether, you're going to get this for the beginning of the verses. 2, 3, 4. So that's the first half of it, and then you just go back to your G, twice to the D, back to the G, back to the D, and then it all begins again, back to your G chord again. So let me just walk you through. I'll play the whole verse as it is right now. Now, that just keeps repeating for a number of bars there. And then what's going to happen before you're going into your chorus, so that's basically the verse there. But there's a build on the D chord leading into your chorus there. So let me just play this through a couple of times, and then I'll show you the build on the D chord, and then we'll talk about the chorus. There's that little build there on the D. And some people may play like a sus4. They may add their pinky to it to play like a sus4. Kind of like that. That's kind of open to interpretation. So don't worry too much about that. You can just ride out that D chord. So again, that's like this. That leads you right into the chorus now. So, with the chorus, you're beginning on your G chord again. What I'm doing there is I'm actually striking or picking the G note by itself, and then the rest of the follow through the rest of the chord. Then starting on the open A string, so I'm going to play the A open, using my first finger to play the B note on the A string, second fret, following through with my middle finger on the C note. Now, once you get there, you're back to your C9 chord. And what happens is this little arpeggiation here. So I'm going to play this. So it's going to be... So there's the C9 chord, but basically now there's an arpeggiation. So I'm playing the C note, followed by my open G, and then my D note where my third finger is still stationary there. Then you use your index finger to go back to the B note on the A string, second fret on the A string. Strike that note. And now, instead of the order of the notes being G to the D, you're going to go D to G. So just remember, it kind of turns itself around there. So it's going to be like this. Then you're going back to your D chord. And then you go back to that little figure there. And resolve it back to the G5 chord. And then that repeats itself. I believe twice for the first verse and then 4 times for the second. So I'm going to play through the whole chorus right now. 2, 3, 4. And repeat it accordingly to how many times that they do it. So that covers your intro, and that covers your verses and your chorus for this song. Basically, that's all the parts. The only thing that changes now in the rhythm is the guitar solo, where what you're doing here, you're still starting on your G5 chord, and then you're going to do that walk up again on the A string, but instead of the arpeggiation of what you were doing before, so instead of doing that, you're going to be doing and just playing the chord full like that. Going back to the B note, strumming that once, and then going right to your D. And everything is staccato, so everything's cut really short there. So I'm going to play that. This is the beginning of the rhythm parts for the solo. Okay, that's the first one, and then the second pass is this. Is going to be and then back to the G chord. And then you're going to go kind of exactly the way that you played the chorus part, okay? So altogether it's going to sound like this. And then basically you're following the solo just by playing the chorus.